A man, later identified only as LH, is going through security on the way to his probation hearing.
It is discovered that he has medical marijuana prescription bottles with him.
Although cannabis is legal in Colorado, it's still illegal to bring it into a courthouse without a special card.
LH was stopped and he is asked to produce a medical marijuana card, which he doesn't have apparently, and so he's denied access to the courthouse.
LH apparently gets agitated and starts making a scene.
Deputy James Jeffrey was among some deputies that responded to that area to take care of the situation. Deputy Jeffrey has been with the county courthouse for 9 years, so this isn't somebody who's new to the profession.
There are a couple of different stories about what happened from this point forward.
And so let's start with Deputy James Jeffrey's version, which is this guy, LH, was a little mouthy.
He's telling Jeffrey to take his badge off and that he's gonna kick his ass.
LH had his fists balled up in a fighting stance and position, so according to Jeffrey, the guy was aggressive. Jeffrey can be seen escorting LH out into one particular direction of the camera. And at one point, LH stands and kind of turns toward Jeffrey and motions with his hand.
Jeffrey described the arm motion as an imminent threat.
Deputy Jeffrey grabs the man from behind, lifts him up, and gives him a good old WWE pile driver right to the floor. After the body slam, several other officers in the area come rushing over, and they eventually place the man in handcuffs, and then they escort him out of the area.
So we've heard Deputy Jeffrey's version, and so now let me tell you what LH has to say.
He says that he was asked about the medical marijuana card, and then he tried to access it on his phone. But once he brought it up from the website, he still wasn't allowed to enter the courthouse.
He says that Jeffrey's yelling at him and he's rude and he's pushing him, and that the aggression was coming from Deputy Jeffrey himself.
In an attempt to defend himself from what he feels might be coming, LH raises his hand.
It was at that point that Deputy Jeffrey then lifted him up into the air.
After the fall, LH says that he was dizzy and lightheaded.
So we know that there's always three versions to a story, right? There's the one that each one puts forward, and then there's the truth.
When they investigated this incident, of course, the truth seemed to be somewhere in between the two competing stories.
Denver Public Safety personnel interviewed several witnesses that were in the area at the same time that this happened.
They concluded that yes, LH was being uncooperative, but they also said that he had not clenched his fist, as the officer said.
In fact, they found that he was clutching his hat in his right hand as he was making a general move toward leaving the courthouse.
The video surveillance just did not support Jeffrey's account of what happened. Medical records confirmed that LH did actually sustain a concussion as a result of being slammed to the ground.
Deputy Jeffrey was asked, look, the guy was in front of you, he was walking away, why didn't you just let him go?
Jeffrey described that everything had stopped in his mind as a result of anticipating this assault. He got tunnel vision in that moment, really believing that LH was going to punch him.